Welcome back to another episode of the Unlimited Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, somebody who I've wanted to get on for a long time, my boy Ify.
What up?
You know him for his acting, his comedy. You know him for his tabletop gameplay, Magic the Gathering, Dropout, hosting Actually. My boy's doing all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks
Appreciate you
for
coming
having me.
out, man.
Yeah, I know. I was wondering when we were going to meet because everyone's like, oh, you know Cash? I'm like, no. But then I found out we were both from LA. We were just like, yeah.
There should have been some time where we crossed
Yeah.
paths. But like when you're doing your own thing, like, you know, like I'm a super locked in guy,
Yeah.
bro. Like I really don't go out much. I don't,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Unless it's for a reason, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And it sounds like you know, you're doing so much. It's probably the same thing.
I've been, the comedy tour is just starting, so I've just been out of town every weekend.
Yeah.
But then in between that, I'm doing cons, so I'm doing PAX, and I do Magic Con.
Yeah.
So really it is like I'm there, we're doing like Commander Party, or
Yeah.
like I'm always on the run. But I get that where you're like, I'm going to stay inside. I'm not going to go out and deal with the foolishness.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Being inside is fun now.
How long have you been doing comedy? Like when did it all kind of like start?
So I've been doing it for 15 years. And
Oh, wow.
So
How old are you, if you don't mind me
Oh
asking?
yeah, of course you can ask. I'm
Yeah.
38.
Okay.
So I'm 38.
Oh shit, you're older than me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
All right.
It's so funny. I feel like athletes always think that y'all are older than me because you're bigger and stronger.
I mean, it's not like you're a small guy. Yeah.
Growing up, coaches hated that I didn't want it. Well, because my dad's from Nigeria.
Right.
When he first
Education.
moved out of here, it's that part too.
Yeah.
But when he first moved out of here, his roommate was somebody who was playing college ball, got injured, paralyzed, and then they dropped his scholarship.
Oh,
and
so
that was back when you could do that. You know,
Right.
now you can't do that. But
yeah.
he didn't know, so he never wanted. Like he would make up excuses so I wouldn't play sports.
for you not to play
Yeah.
sports. Yeah.
And
Coaches hate that. When you see a big, big, like you just big and strong. Like,
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
come on. Like we need you over here. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? It's fine. It's hard to find big bodies in California
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
In the South, it's something different. You know,
They
they're
built
kind of
different.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But like out here, it's just like big. It's like athletes. Whole lot of athletes.
When you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, it was perfect because my mom's from New Orleans, my dad's from Nigeria, so it's just like
my family's from Baton Rouge.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's where I'm going this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going from Austin. I'm doing Lafayette, then
amazing.
New Orleans, and then Mobile, Alabama. So I've been hyped because
going back to the South,
I'm
bro.
gonna gain
The
a few
food,
pounds.
The food, bro.
People don't
the
know.
Charboiled.
Yes.
What are they? The charboiled oysters with the garlic and the cheese on them.
Yes.
Oh my god,
I
bro.
eat so much when I go, and I think people just don't get it. Like anytime it was like their first time to Louisiana, I was like, oh, I can't wait. So
And what are the beignets?
Oh,
My god, bro.
Get a beignet.
Dang,
And
bring me
yeah,
something back, bro.
Yeah, look,
You know what
I'm telling you,
saying? Maybe not the
I'm-
oysters, but the
Yeah,
beignets, though. Yeah, 100%.
I'm bringing that orange can chicory coffee.
Oh,
so you can
bro. That's some.
my
Oh,
gosh.
god, man, some sweet tea. Yeah,
Ooh.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's keep it nerdy.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
here.
Let's get
keep
back
it
on the
nerdy,
cardboard.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
I will, because one thing I will.
Well, actually, before we get into the
Yes.
cardboard, you wrestled, huh?
Yeah. So I've been doing like a pro wrestling run in the comedy joint.
Right.
And that's been fun. I'm going to be doing it at Gen Con. You know, there's these guys in Naptown All Pro Wrestling that was hating because I was doing, they're like, oh, you a comedy guy trying to do our thing? So I'm gonna pull up on them on Gen Con and we're going to see what happens.
So you understand, because you're a little bit older than me, so you
Yeah.
understand, like, bro, when I was coming up as a kid, being a nerd wasn't popular.
Yeah.
Today, if you're not nerdy, you're weird, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, it really
that
is.
crazy?
Yeah, it is. It's like, oh, you don't know that? like
you
people
don't.
be defensive.
Oh, you
when
don't
they-
watch anime?
Yeah,
It's
whoa.
like, oh, I don't know if I can really
Yeah,
trust you.
I know. And it's so funny because you're seeing like the few people try and be like, no, y'all are weird. I was like, no, we outnumber you now.
No,
you can't.
yeah,
you can't. We got to give you the swirly now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A lot. Things have changed significantly,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Nerd culture, I feel like, is pop culture at this point.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
definitely. It is, and now it brings it to this kind of what I call this new wave, where before, if you saw somebody nerdy, you knew you were into the same things, but now it's so wide. There's so many elements of it. So like when Brain Dead did their Fantasy Fest, it was cool to see this like very like specific corner of nerd culture where it was like, you know, John Blanche art, rest in peace. You know, a lot of like wargaming, but also like, you know, specific style of Magic the Gathering cards where it was like more of like that fantasy, that high fantasy style. And I was like, oh, I love this, that we have blown up so much that now we are creating like our own chapters within it.
Yeah, man. It's getting, I mean, dude, it's been fun to navigate and just be a part of, bro. And it's growing so much. And like, you know, this brings us into a topic that I like to talk about a lot here. Universes Beyond. When I would tell people about Magic the Gathering, they would have no reference. Yeah. They would have no reference for what it looked like, what it was, who was playing it, anything like that. But now, like, if you're a fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Lord of the Rings, Final Fantasy, you know, all of these IPs, now Marvel, which is basically everybody on the planet, like, you are like, oh, that's that card company that did a collaboration with Marvel. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Now I'm curious, because if Marvel's going to do a collaboration with this game, it's got to be good, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Whereas before it was like,
what is this?
Magic the Gathering, Jace, Liliana.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Who's a Johnny? It's a lion man, a buffed up lion dude?
Yeah.
Like, what's this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. It's very funny because for me, I like, so my like Magic journey is funny. I was playing in high school.
Okay.
I was playing in high school because all the kids were playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right.
And then
Yu-Gi-Oh was fire though.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh
And I was getting beat out by the kids with the rich parents who would buy the best cards. And so I'm like, all right, I can't be taking these L's.
Yeah.
And I was in Borders Books, and I saw they used to have the packs that had like a full card set. It was like a tournament pack.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, yo, this looks cool. I bought it. I looked through it. I took it to school the next day. I was like, look, I know we've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but this is the new hotness.
Yeah.
Got everyone in it. And since I was the one teaching them, I was whooping everyone.
Yeah, of course. Because you were ahead of the game. Yeah,
so I got to feel that. But then, of course, the rich kids get in, and then now they on top again. But I introduced it to my whole school, and just watching everyone just get sucked into it was so fun.
Yeah.
So I was doing that. And then before I got into comedy, I was working for the LA County Register Recorder, and I would, same thing as you, every Friday I would go to, across the street, there was this Gotham Comics that would do Friday Night Magic, would just play with them nonstop. And then I started doing comedy. I was taking UCB classes and doing stand-up, and I was like, I got to focus up. So I stopped playing for a bit. Then Geek and Sundry, we start the channel, and I have a Magic the Gathering show on there called Mulligan. And so that's when I met, Kibler and them, and like the channel Fireball folks, and we were just playing like paper Magic on Twitch before there was like any infrastructure.
Right.
While we were playing, we would play a card, and we'd have to play slow because they would look up it on Gatherers and crop it and put it on the screen so people knew. It was like so low key. And then I went to my first GP, and that was during like Modern Masters, I want to say like 2015. And then I was playing for a little bit, and then I was like, then I started writing for At Midnight, and I was like, okay, I got to lock in. I got to start writing more. And then I came back just like, I want to say like at this point, almost 3 years ago.
Okay.
We did I'm Actually Live at PAX. My homie, Annika, they sit me down. We play Commander. I was like, oh yeah, this is a game I love. And I go back all in. So I got to like, there was a gap between like, I remember, Kyle Hill was showing me this game. He was like, it's this game EDH. It's this like side game we play. It wasn't even supported by Magic yet.
Yeah, for a long time it wasn't. Yeah.
And then like now I come back, it's supported, and they're like, oh, you can get this Lord of the Rings deck. I'm like, what? And so I learned about Universes Beyond, and I was like, oh, it's cool. And like people, people were like, oh man, they had mixed feelings. And now at this point, I'm like, oh, look, I get it. Some people are like, I like the fantasy aesthetics, which is why, Hobbit's going to go crazy. It makes sense that Lord of the Rings went crazy. Hobbit's going to go crazy. But, when you do the Ninja Turtles and all that, people are like, oh man, I was like, that's cool though. Cause like,
it's not for
that's
everybody.
a break.
It's not for everybody.
To me, it's like, consider that a blessing that you don't even have to think about this card set. And the only time you'll have to think about it is if you're a Commander player and someone busts out a wild combo and you're like, oh, I guess I'll just buy that card. But I think, I think about this for video games too, right? We're like, content creators. We do this almost like pretty much for work.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think when the way people like us digest that, we're like, how are we going to keep up? And it's like, well, because I think your regular Magic player is just only going to engage with the sets that are intriguing to them. But us, because we have to play everything because we want to talk about it, we're like, this is so much. And I'm like, yeah, it is low key. But then also there's like an element to where I can see where it's like, okay, but like some people are just going to check out and then play with the set that they mess with.
What a blessing that you have so much to consume. Like you know what I mean? You don't have to consume it all.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're giving us so much.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a blessing, you know what I mean? Like it used to be like 4 sets a year and you had to sit around and wait for the new set forever, and it was like you got tired of playing the same old. Like, bro, there's so much cool stuff, and there's Secret Layer, and there's new arts, and there's special edition this, and now the collectability stuff is going crazy. Like, you know, this is something that like I kind of get upset with the Magic community is like, be more grateful for the game. You know, be more grateful for what WotC is providing us. You know what I mean? Because like I've gotten so much joy from this game over the years. Like, you got to be more grateful. Be more grateful to your content creators for spending all the time that they do to tell you about all these new cards and all these new sets and stuff. A lot of these content creators, they're not making real money, bro. Like Ben Bateman just stopped his normal job just recently, and he's been full-time content creating for like, you know, 2 years, probably even a little bit longer, like, but like full-time, really committed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be more grateful to these people, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't have to do it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's just this thing, right, where, you know, we all have a piece where we feel like ownership of it, and when you feel ownership of like a fandom, you start to worry about like the direction it's going and what's going. And I think that that like my like if I'm, you know, had my druthers, and it's like, you know, what would be like some simple Band-Aid solutions right now is I think, you know, it'd be fun if like LCS is kind of locked in and do, because, you know, everyone loves a cube, right? Where you just like get to play in certain, and I love like a chaos draft that's like themed, where it's like, okay, I'm picking sets that only have artifacts. And I think, you know, I would love like LCSs to have these events that are like, cool, we're gonna do like either a draft or a standard or a limited format where it's only in world. And then it's like something where it's like, okay, the players who are like, I'm more invested in the in-world stuff is like, bet. So now you have an event where those people can like have what they want. LCSs, you know, if you have the bandwidth, can just like test run that. Because I mean, when you think about how many formats were just created by the community, you know, it's like, let's have more fun. Let's play within that, and let's see, because I do have like this soft spots for UB, because you know, my homie Thundercat, you know, he jumped in for Final Fantasy.
Oh, he was at the Marvel. You weren't at the Marvel thing.
Yeah, because I was like I was invited, right? And I was like I was like working, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll get there, but I had to go to a show. I had an improv show, and then they said it got to do the cocktail attire, and I was like, if I dress up, then I'm gonna have to, you know, just like stupid stuff. And also, like, y'all don't know, they didn't tell us it was gonna be like that.
No,
like
they
that.
didn't. They they surprised us. So I'm like, dude, if I didn't dress up, I would have been looking silly. Bro.
I know. I was like, they should have at least said it was a step and repeat. And I told the person I know, I was like, if you would have said there's a step and repeat, I like attention so much, I would have showed up. I definitely
showed up for that red carpet.
Look, I love a red carpet. A red carpet. Hate to see me coming. You know,
that was the nicest event that they have ever done with Wizards. Honestly, there's like, the bar was here, and they brought it all the way. Like, they took no baby steps from like what they normally do. Like, I was at the Ninja Turtle thing that they did, and all they did was like, were you there?
I think that's where we first met.
I think we did up because you were in the middle of the game. Quickly, because you were in the middle of a game, right? And you know, that's like what I grow to expect from WotC. Like, it's just a bunch of people, and like, we're gonna play some games, we'll eat some food.
Exactly.
Pizza.
So I'm in a group chat. I'm in a group chat with him, my homie Zig, who like wrote Miles Morales and Deadpool.
Okay,
and like the homie Garrick, and like all of a sudden, like Thunder gonna post a pic of him with the Infinity Gauntlet. I'm like, yo, you at the event? And then Zig's like, I'm there too. I'm like, we need to coordinate. First of all, y'all didn't tell me I was. If I would have known, the homies was going if it was a homie out, you know?
Yeah.
And then all this, and then it's so funny because I'm looking at the pic and Thunder got the Spawn jacket. I'm like, why are you at the Marvel event with the Spawn jacket?
He was wilding. He was wilding with that for sure. But everybody was just, I think everybody was just really happy to see like other people there. Like Buddy from Holes was there as well.
Cleo
which is,
Thompson.
and I've been following him for a while, bro. I like his gaming content and stuff, bro. Like Cleo's cool. It was just like a lot more people. It was just not what you normally expect from, but I feel like this is where it's going, man. Like it's bringing people into the game that are nerdy and are like, you know, in these adjacent lanes, and they're finding magic and they're going like, whoa, this is an incredible game.
So that's how, like, so me and Thunder, we met at a party and we linked it. I didn't even realize it was him. I never even told him this, but I thought because I've
never seen that. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen. I don't even know.
I'm just a guy who I just listen to the jams. You know, I'm listening. I did see him in the show, but I didn't even realize because we literally walk in together and we just start chopping it up about like Gundam and anime and da da da. And at one point he goes, and that's why I made Dragon Ball Do-Rag, and I was like, oh shit, okay. And so we linked up and we would just be talking about anime. And then I on I'm Actually I was like, yo, you want to hop on I'm Actually? He was like, yeah, come on. And then we've been kicking it, and then we did this Magic group chat because he loves Final Fantasy.
Oh, he's been playing Magic?
So yes, because he loves Final Fantasy. He got in because of the Universes Beyond.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
that's what I'm saying.
So he went from that to sending me pics of like classic, you know, Mana Vault and all that stuff. And I was like, and I told Gavin this, I told every Magic. So I was like, anytime somebody wants to hate on Universes Beyond, and I show them the two texts of him being in on the Final Fantasy to him jumping to the classics. And to me it's like, because like you kind of like draw them in with something they know, introduce them to a whole new gameplay, all this new system,
this amazing game,
and then you're going to be locked, you know, because I think Magic is that dope where like all you need is just an intro, and if the normally cool like fantasy settings don't do it, and the like UB settings do, to me that's a win, because now we have a new player. Now 100%. You have Thunder buying all the new sets,
and he'll get into it. He'll like slowly, because like, dude, the game is so good, bro. To me it's the best game ever made, bro. It really is so incredible. So if you're able to capture somebody's attention with one of these Universes Beyond sets, once they get curious about the game, it's over with, bro. Nobody ever leaves the game. Even when you like people sell out, like, oh, I'm selling my collection, blah, blah, I'm done with the game. 10 years later, when you're really bored and you just ain't got shit to do, you're gonna get back in. Because there's nothing else that you can't. It's like, you know, for me, it's similar to football. You can never fill the void with anything other than football. And for me, football will never come back. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna get it again. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? It's my days are done. But Magic, bro, if I stop playing Magic, bro, there's nothing that can scratch that itch besides Magic.
Bro. It's just the look, the feel of it, and I think that's why it's like, because you're looking at these Final Fantasy characters, you're looking at, you know, the names, but it's still the same card design. It's still the power and toughness is down there in the corner, the card line, the type line, you see the cost, you see that, and so like you just get that Pavlovian, just like, I don't know, that thing that makes, because it's the same thing. Like I said, I was gone, you know, all that time, and then I, you know, sit down with my homie, I play just one round
game,
next day I go in there and buy 3 different Commander boxes.
You're ready to lock back in, bro. So tell me, you know, obviously the gameplay has always been part of your DNA, and just loving the game, and, you know, tabletop gaming and stuff like that. I know you're big into D&D as well. On a collector side of things, are you a big collector as well?
Oh yeah, I'm a big collector, but here's the thing: is like that autism and ADHD make me want to collect everything. I am the collector.
Are you like a completionist, or you like have certain things that you want?
I have certain things I want, and to me, it's like both, right? Because I like Commander, because you know, I feel like Commander gets a lot of flack because it's just like has taken over the community, and I feel like other parts of the community is like, well, and also it's like it's a game where, like, if you have a Commander deck, for the most part, you can leave it alone
Yeah.
and always play Commander. That's why I tell people where it's like, where someone who's like, you know, I want to get in, but like, I don't want to spend that much. I was like, cool, then get a Commander deck, especially with these newer precons
100%.
where
they're a lot better.
They're coming out the box
better,
ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, I remember the Ready precon I started with, and I was playing with the EDH fools, and it was running my pockets.
Yeah.
But now,
it's gotten better.
Oh,
the precons have gotten significantly better.
So like, and then you can just kind of piecemeal upgrade it as you go, and as you get to know it. There's more like personality in a Commander deck because you can make it. You have all these people who's like, this is my crab deck,
and it's more welcoming too because it's a multiplayer game, right?
Yes.
So you've got the politics, and you can go like, hey, I'm a new player, and everybody goes like, hey, don't pick on the new guy, and everybody can kind of feel good and get through the game without like, when it's 1v1, like trying to get somebody into Magic, and you're like, hey, let's play standard. 1v1, I'm cracking your head as soon as you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's like you're gonna lose pretty much. You're gonna lose probably 98% of the games that you play. When you first get into the game, you're gonna lose a lot. In Commander, it's less. You'll lose a lot less because there's 4 players. And like, people might underestimate you and let you get to the end of the game, and like, you'll actually get to play like a lot of Magic, bro.
And it's the format that's casual, so people are more than happy to be like, oh no, or this is a more, you know, they would be like, oh, you should have done it. Like, for example, I got a friend who's playing now. When I was in New York, Chris, he tours with me. He's in my opener, and he got sucked into Magic.
Love it.
And so he's sitting in the pod with us, and he had a Terramorphic Expanse, and then at the beginning of his next turn he cracks. I was like, no, the way you should do that is in my instep, crack it so that it untaps. He goes, okay, I'll remember next time. And everyone's like, no, what are you talking about? Do that right now, and we'll say you did that. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, man, we're trying to play against the best version of your deck. We're not trying to like get over on you and be like, you gotta wait. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he so every game you're learning and getting better. Versus like, you're right, standards like, nah, I'm trying to get that promo, dog. I'm not gonna give you that same courtesy.
It's different.
That I would get.
It's different. It's different, bro. And like, you know, I really like the competitors. I'm a cEDH player. I don't know if you play. Do you play?
I've learned. Ben Bateman was the one who got me to fully appreciate cEDH, and not even on purpose. When we were in Australia, I had a proxy cEDH deck made to me by the Spike Feeders. They made one for me. Shout out to them. And that was the first time I played, and it was fun. But I feel like I was just in over my head.
You were kind of lost, because it is a different.
And then by the second time, I kind of like knew what I was supposed to be doing, because after we got down, they were like, "This is usually how it works."
Right.
So I'm playing with Ben, and then it was that classic, like, okay, I'm gonna win next turn, so everybody has to stop me. And to me, I was like, okay, now it makes sense, because it's like, cEDH is like chess. It's very much like
it's competitive, and it's intense, and it's like very mental, and you have to know other people's, like, hey, this guy's deck, these typically combo off with this card. Like, if you're playing me and I'm playing Teferi, if you see Chain Veil, the game's close to being over. You know, if you see, you know, like, certain decks have certain things. If somebody plays Necropotence or Ad Nauseam, you have your counters, have your interaction ready. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, and it's like, okay, we're able to stop this guy from winning, and then we're able to stop this guy from winning, and then everybody's used up all their resources, so this guy gets to win the game.
One of my favorite parts of Magic is the hype leading up to the next set. The Hobbit is definitely going to be one of those sets for me, and if you're planning on picking up a box, Cash Cards Unlimited has play boosters and collector boosters available for pre-order right now.
So whether it's the Hobbit or the next big set, we've got you covered. Lock yours in early and be ready to crack packs on release day. cEDH in a 4-player format is cool amongst friends. I think when you get into the tournament scene, or like the competitive scene, 1v1 is actually better. Okay. I've been really putting a lot of thought to this, because, you know, so many people complain about like the cEDH thing, and I've done cEDH tournaments. We did a couple over at Frankensons like a couple years ago.
Nice.
And Cash Cards does a cEDH tournament every single month. And like I'm competitive, bro. And I support the competitive formats. But what I found is that a lot of people complain about 3 things. They complain about the politics. They complain about the length of the games, and then they complain about when you, in the tournament scenes, they complain about like basically colluding and like cheating, where like 20 people go into a tournament of 100 people, and if you're at the same pod and like this guy's, you know, got a better record, you're gonna like help him win.
Yeah.
If you go to 1v1 and you change it to a 1v1 commander, a lot of that goes out the door.
Oh, yeah.
The games become much faster.
Definitely.
The meta actually changes a lot. A lot of commanders become much better than what they would be in a 4-player format, and a lot of cards become less good. Like Rhystic Study and Smothering Tides are 2 cards that I always think like that's not that good.
Yeah,
like Mystic Remora on turn 1.
Yeah.
Not that great of a turn 1 in 1v1, right? So you got a lot of these really high power cards that kind of get diluted a lot in a 1v1 format. And then the games are much faster. The politics are out the window. There are no politics. When it's me versus you, there are no politics, bro. So I'm gonna I'm really thinking about putting a lot behind this, and I want to do a creator tournament. I've been talking.
That's what I was going to ask you, is if you're going, because I think it'd be fun to just do that and see how that runs, because I love the idea, because I get it, right. I think Magic is, I would not trade the job of anyone on any committee or balancing at all, because there's so much history in it. And whenever someone talks about like, oh, it's so hard for Magic, I was like, I get it. This is a game that existed for longer than some people were born, you know? And in a format like Commander, every card, as long as it's not banned, is available to be used in it. So there's so many combos that you probably haven't even conceptualized yet. But then the best ones kind of crop to the top, and because there's a finite amount of cards, it kind of locks it down. But I think format changes like that, or like specific bans that would like force something that is powerful out of the, because when you think of things like, you know, like I used to write for Apex Legends and games like that, where you change a character or a gun that's dominating and it forces the whole meta to change.
Right.
That is exciting to me. I get, for some people, they hate that.
So here's the other concept for this 1v1 format, right? And I think I'm gonna call it Apex Commander. That's what I think I'm gonna name it, right?
Okay.
Here's the other concept, right? Quarterly, the community gets to vote for a card to be banned and a card to be unbanned. If a card gets more than 50% of the votes, it gets banned, and vice versa if it gets 50% of the votes to get unbanned. If nothing hits 50%, nothing gets banned. So then you give the community the opportunity to participate in the bans, right? And then, but then it's cyclical, right? So if they make a mistake, right? If everybody in the format feels like, hey, you didn't need to make that, you know what I'm saying? Like let's unban it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You can do that. I feel like this gives you a very fair democratic approach to the ban list.
That's why, like, you know, and what I like about this is like an element, and I feel like it's because I come from this D&D, you know, side of gaming, right? Where like a lot of people get so caught up on like, oh well, what's the rules and how does it say and what's the rules? But one of the at the very beginning of the book, if you start at the tippy top of like the DM guide, player's guide, what they say is this is a guideline. At the end of the day, you know, like what works at your table works at your table.
Right.
You know, and I think it's the same thing, right, with Magic, where it's like there are these formats, and I understand like there's Pro Tour, and for that's not the conversation I'm having. You know, I'm having a conversation about just the general overall from LGS to LGS type beat, where it's like we should be creating things like this, where there are leagues within our communities where we can experiment, and if it works and it's awesome, you talk about it, and who knows what happens next. Because, you know, I don't know if you like follow Flesh and Blood or anything like that.
I don't, but like I know that it has had like it's been pretty popular for like the last 3 to 5 years.
They have this system where like after a certain amount of wins, every win with a certain champion gets it points, and then after a certain amount of wins it becomes legend and it's out of the meta. Like it gets and I'm like, that is dope, because also it puts a interesting challenge. They'll like bring the elements back through another card, but it'll be like through another
like
name,
dumbed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like but like from what I heard, don't quote me on it, but it's like it's the card, but kind of under another new name. But what I like about it is it puts the challenge on the community. Like, how badly do you all want to run the same meta?
Yeah.
Because if y'all all run the same meta,
then you can't
then it's gonna
anymore.
You're gonna
that is
burn
interesting.
It out.
It definitely goes back to like that standard feel where like everything is. But see, that's too that feels too Yu-Gi-Oh-ish for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your cards are just cyclical, and nothing is ever gonna hold value or hold like relevancy, which I don't.
But if you think about it, like imagine if there was like a version of this, right? In Magic,
yeah.
Like how quickly, because everyone complains about in Standard,
right?
The prowess decks, right?
Yeah.
If everyone then is like, boom, y'all maxed out prowess, you have to look within these cards now to find a new meta. That's fun, but I get what you mean. Where you're like, man, I worked hard building this deck, and now you're saying I can't.
Yeah, and then they ban it, and then you got to build a whole new deck.
Yeah,
I
get it.
I think it's fine for standard because like the cost for standard decks is like relatively low.
Yeah,
like
but a cEDH is like that's if you got rid of a cEDH,
dude.
deck.
What I had to like. Listen, I'm not broke by any means, right? But I had to like consolidate my collection and I created a system to be able to have multiple cEDH decks without buying crazy amounts of like cards. I buy one staple and then I utilize those cards in multiple decks. And I have a whole. I'll show you this.
Say it again and make sure you zoom in because I think a lot of players need to know there's a system. 100%. You can have a system.
You can, and it works. It works especially well with cEDH. It won't work really with casual too much
because you switch decks.
There's too much. There's too much switching of like what cards are in the deck. In cEDH, a lot of the same cards are seeing like crossover play for like the same colors, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously there's exceptions. In every deck, like I have Aang built.
Yeah.
All the clones, like most of those clones aren't gonna go in other decks, right? You know what I'm saying? So there is some exceptions, but what I've done is I've taken what would be 1,000 cards for 10 decks, and I've consolidated it down to about a little over 400 cards, right? So I'm saving, those 600 cards would have been a lot of money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It'd have been a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so what I do is each card has stickers on them. These little tiny circular stickers, and they represent what commander that they are in. So I go through my little cube, what I call it, and I take out if I want to play Raph and Mikey, I take out every orange card.
Ooh.
And then I've got my deck, right? So I can play multiple decks without, cEDH decks without spending like a crazy amount of money.
That's so smart. Like I think I would have never considered because I'm of the brain where it's like, oh, you just buy it again. But I'm like, no, you can just have it be a modular deck. So you saying that made me think because all these conversations we're having about UB in a universe, all this.
Yeah.
What's funny is I think the things that dominate the conversation are two main player base, right? It's either the standard players who are complaining, and the standard's big beef with UB is its involvement in the standard format and what it means, and commander players UB is the aesthetics that they want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you meant there's like an Aang cEDH deck, and I've been hearing about these like UB
or Raph
cards.
and Mikey, my two favorite new decks are both.
So I just want to ask, like, what has that experience been as like a cEDH player having some of these like very interesting, UB cards? Do you feel like you love UB because it's making cEDH more exciting?
I love UB because like listen, the UB cards that they've released have been good in Commander.
Yeah.
But like it's just there's also cards that have been good in other formats.
Yeah.
What I really love about UB is that when you look at my cube, right? When you see my cube and you see the arts that I choose, you can see what I'm a fan of. You can get to know me a little bit. Your collection becomes more personalized, right? Because there's more representation in your collection than just the Magic universe.
Oh, yeah.
When you see that I'm playing Raph and Mikey, and I have Raph and Mikey altered as Gon and Killua, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see like, oh, this guy's a Hunter x Hunter fan, like, or Hunter, like he likes Hunter x Hunter. Like you can personalize, and it's also like, hey, he's a turtle fan, or like fan of Avatar. Like I like a lot of the arts from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like I choose those arts. You can see that, right? So I can there's more customization to your collection, right?
Yeah.
And I think that the art has blossomed and evolved, and it becomes less repetitive.
Yeah.
The game feels more relatable than it ever has before. You know, when I bring it to somebody, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, like I get it. But if I didn't have Universes Beyond right now, it's so hard to explain Magic to people.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think that's such a good like explanation of that. Also, as the host of them, actually, I like how quickly you wanted to change from saying Hunter x Hunter to be like Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You're not letting these anime fans get you.
I'm sorry.
No, look.
Forgive me. Forgive me, guys.
It's so funny just how like the little like anime things, but look, Gon and Q forever.
Sick.
I love Hunter x Hunter. So
the new season's supposed to come out here soon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna binge watch. They better drop all the episodes at once though, because if they make me go week to week, I'm gonna fucking riot, bro. Like reincarnated as a slime is week to week right now, and it is driving me nuts, bro.
Well, it's funny because like sometimes it's fun with like when you want to hop online and talk how you like with Jujutsu Kaisen, right? You're like, this, but then sometimes you're like, I kind of would just want to see it, especially because like I went and finished the manga of Jujutsu Kaisen, so now I'm like, all right, no, I want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's how people feel with Solo Leveling too. Bro, like,
oh man,
dude, how do you feel about Solo Leveling?
Man, I just am making my way through the first season. So far, I'm digging it, but people weren't as hyped for season 2. What do you think?
I fucking love Solo Leveling because some people. Here's what people complain about.
Okay,
they're like, there's no character development in anybody else. The show is called Solo Leveling. Okay, when somebody creates a show name, a title, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
They're saying nobody else is really going to matter in this anime. It's about this Solo Leveling character.
Also, like, for me, the story they're telling, I am just most interested in how he's going to interact with the rest of the world.
Right.
Because the world building they did, I'm like, ooh, this person literally disrupts everything that this world's about.
Yeah.
I kind of want to follow that.
Yeah,
like,
I want to follow him. Nobody else is in, like, no, I mean, everybody, like, there's other interesting characters, but they don't make anybody else like overly interested where you want to go like see, too much of that person's story. I want to follow this guy. Like, how is he getting more broken? Like, I just want to see what broken. Who's the next character this motherfucker is gonna make add to his army? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know.
Yeah. Oh man,
it's like I Solo Leveling is definitely one of my new favorites, and I know one anime of the year, and like everybody likes it. You either like it or you hate it. Yeah, but I absolutely love it. I think it's peak to
which
me.
I love. I love like an anime that is divisive. Like when you say you like an anime, people are like, I don't like it. It's like, oh, that's cool. Like I don't need to fight you. The only thing I need to fight you on is if you say somebody could beat Goku. Then it's like, no, they're not beating Goku.
No, nobody's beating Goku.
Nobody's beating Goku.
Nobody.
But like, otherwise I'm like, yeah, no, I like that you don't like, I think, and I think this is like my overall take about everything, like all the nerdy stuff, all the nerdy shit I'm into, Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, all this. So it's like, I think like you have a lot of people that think that their fandom should operate to please them specifically, and I'm like, no, if something comes out, if there's a set that I really don't rock with or a set that doesn't interest me as much, that's fine, because I want everyone to be able to take in on the fun. If there's an anime that I like that you don't watch it. Don't force yourself to just because we talked about it over here. Find something you like, tell me about it, and then I'm gonna check that out. And then if I don't rock with it, I'm not gonna be like, this anime shouldn't exist. You should have that.
Don't yuck my yum.
Exactly.
Don't yuck my yum. I say this with everything, okay? If you have an opinion and it's different than mine, you shouldn't hate me for having that opinion. You shouldn't feel like you need to express negativity towards me for that opinion, right? It's okay to disagree with me. If you think something differently, I don't hate you. You just see things differently than me. That's totally fine.
It is because like I think I can write a whole essay on this, and I think at some point I will, but it's because we have a group of like almost the internet that has been in this like post-pandemic hyper online mode where like there are conversations on the internet that are super important, that are about people's humanity and existence, and they have blurred them between like, oh, I like this anime. And it was like, no, you don't need the energy for the serious conversations, for the stupid conversations. Because I want to eat my grits with sugar doesn't mean I need to be
even with those like serious life conversations though, you shouldn't hate somebody for having a different opinion in it. You know what I mean? Like like obviously there's a certain line, there are lines that can be crossed and stuff, but like you're like, you know, before, like when you're speaking just like politics in general, right? It was private. Right? Because it's about like you have the right to believe in whatever it is that you want to believe in. You know what I'm saying? And now people express that. And so, you know, there's so much more negativity being expressed and like people are hating other people for having different opinions. And I just simply don't agree with that. If you don't have the same opinion as me, I will respect that is how you feel. Right. And that doesn't affect me. How you feel doesn't affect me.
I think it is really is. It's like I think I know exactly what you're saying. It's like there's a opinion, and then there's a removal of an existence of or a removal of a group's humanity or anything like that. Like it's like when you're that's a whole
that's a different thing, that's a whole nother line. And that's what's right and wrong. Like that's a right and wrong type of thing.
But when we're talking about like I think ways to go about it, even like because lots of times it's not even against two separate sides, it's usually the same side, and they're mad about like, oh no, we should turn left on this street, we should turn right.
You're right, right, that same energy does get passed into like the conversations about anime,
exactly,
or like Magic the Gathering,
exactly, where it's like, why are we even, because I think you're right, it's like like there's even a spectrum here, but when we're on this side, it's there. And I think there's also just never a benefit of the doubt given. Like lots of times it's like a post that has a character limit, and I couldn't cover all the bases, but it's like, but since you didn't cover that, it's that like one tweet that was like, oh man, I really like waffles. Oh, so you hate pancakes? Like that.
Exactly. Dude, that energy. Is the perfect, bro.
And
that
it's like why are we doing this even with, like that's happening even for waffles and pancakes? Like why are we even doing you know?
Yes,
it's like,
bro. It's
like
ridiculous.
Look, if you like something and I'm not a fan of it, I keep it pushing. You know, they're like this is my little silly dumb side of things. There are like when people make their own like, you know, takes on a continuation of a story. Like right now I really like Project Hail Mary. And there are a lot of comics that I think are not capturing Dr. Ryland Grace and Rocky as they exist in the books and the movies. But I'm not going to be in the comments being like, this is whack, this is nothing like that. No, because that's connecting with people, and that's like that's the whole basis of fanfic, which created things like Twilight and or not created Twilight, but created what is it, 50 Shades of Grey, and all that. So I'm gonna let you live, and I'm not, and even if it's not for me, then it's not for me, and I don't need you to not do what makes you happy just because I think it's not for me. And I think that's it, right? The language is like, you don't have to hate everything. Some things can just not be for you.
Yes, you could be indifferent. You know, but just be. But whatever. We could talk. You know,
all day. Look,
this could be all day.
This could be this could be its own whole podcast where we tackle it subject by subject.
Do you need a card for your next deck, or maybe you've got a binder full of cards you're not using anymore and you want to sell? Either way, Cash Cards Unlimited has you covered. We're buying and selling Magic singles every day, from budget staples to high-end collectibles. So whether you're building something new or you're cashing out, stop by the shop or check us out online. Chances are we've got exactly what you're looking for. We typically in the podcast always like to do just like rapid fire, like right off the top of the dome. So I got about 10 questions for you. Okay, first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
Favorite video game of all time?
Final Fantasy VII, baby. Cloud got it holding down. It was a formative game for me. It was like seeing a 3D RPG and just seeing the cutscenes and just kind of the twists and turns in the story. It blew my mind when it came out.
Most overrated fandom?
Oh man, so the fandom, the fandom itself is overrated, or the thing that they are fans of is overrated?
Both.
The super large fandom that's overrated, I think I'm gonna have to go with people who hate on In-N-Out. I think, you know, there's
That's such a great answer.
Yeah,
I was thinking like I was gonna hear some like anime shit, bro. In-N-Out is fucking delicious,
I know,
bro.
but
Stop.
And people try so hard to come out here and be like, I tried it, and then it was like the fries are limp. I was like, cool, you can order it well done. You can do so much more. It's like, well, what about the secret menu? The secret menu is tight. I'm not gonna let anybody steal my whimsy.
It's nice,
I like a secret menu. I like, you have to know what you want. I remember.
You do have to tell them about the French fries, though.
Yes,
you do, because
you
sometimes they will serve you some French fries with no damn salt on it, and it is literally just fried potato. It's bun.
You got to make sure you
but
get
if
the
you
well
get
done
them the right way,
and then or animal style. Oh boy,
come on, bro.
Yeah, and like, you know,
can't let it sit though.
Yeah.
You know what you can't do to In-N-Out? You can't let it sit. You got to eat that motherfucker right now.
Look, and I know you have two Californians telling you this. Okay, all right,
it's true.
I'm for real. Like and don't get me started. I don't like the comparisons. You don't talk about Shake Shack because it's not the same price point.
No,
you're
it's
not
not.
even. Because we have weight classes for a reason.
Yeah.
It's like you cannot. We're not do. So you come into LA or California trying so hard. Yeah,
I don't want to hear about Whataburger. I don't want to hear about y'all. I don't care.
It's
like, good though.
Yeah, it's good.
I can say Whataburger is good.
I have a whole pic of me like flicked up with a Whataburger.
Yeah, it's good. It's good food. It's good.
It's like, no, like, so stop trying to hate on In-N-Out. There's no reason. Don't do it. And I think a thing that I think people like is not that tight. It's like, look, y'all. I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to shake the table here. I was like, Harry Potter ain't that tight. You know, like Harry Potter ain't that tight to deal with that. Like to deal with all of that, it ain't that tight. I'm gonna just say it ain't. Like the books that was coming out at the time, I wasn't even first of all, when it was coming out, I was already getting DVDRs burned of Naruto. So I was like, I don't fuck that book. I'm watching the Chunin exams. Come on now. Teach your kids about Naruto. Teach your kids about Naruto instead.
Naruto is peak.
Yeah.
Naruto is peak.
Same thing.
I will take
cursed child. Two cursed child. Tell me I'm wrong. Two cursed child.
No. They track. I'm with you. Naruto is peak, and I would take Naruto over Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But Harry Potter is good shit, man.
Harry
Potter is good shit. Every year you can rewatch Harry Potter and get some nice nostalgia.
I'll do that for my boy D-Rad. D-Rad's funny. Shout out to him. He's on with The Rise and Fall of Reggie Dinkins.
Okay.
Funny. My boy Carl was on this show, Miracle Workers, and it was so funny because he would talk about working on it, but he would only refer to Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter. He's like, man, I was on set with Harry Potter today. I was like, what? It's like, that's not his real name.
I know, but it's like you can't see him as anything else, bro. Like those actors that be on those series that you can never unsee him. Yeah. He's Harry Potter forever, bro. Yeah. I don't want to see you in nothing else, bro. Yeah. I really don't.
I'll see him in
not
Equus.
even hating.
I'll see him in Equus.
What's that?
Equus. You remember that horseplay he was in?
Yeah.
He was.
I heard he's done some good stuff.
He's like
I'm sure he's got to be an amazing actor.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just not checking for him for anything other than Harry Potter, and that's nothing against him. It's just
look. See, when you check with him, you're gonna come back with him. You're gonna actually throw the Harry Potter away with Naruto Chunin exams. He not seeing him. He not beating him.
Here first.
The real cursed child. Naruto Uzumaki.
All right, Harry Potter is overrated. That's that. Okay,
damn, that was the opposite of a rapid
to
fire.
Say that honestly.
Yeah, I took the most time on that rapid fire.
No. We had to get into that for sure. Most toxic gaming community.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna give you one that people often associate, and I'm gonna go because a lot of people say League, right?
Yeah,
League. But I think the Dota 2 community ain't nobody got nothing. Dota 2. They are more cutthroat. League, if you do rank, they're going to be on your head top, and some casual, but like usually you could be like, dog, that's why I'm here. Like here, I don't know who needs to hear this. If someone's on your head about not playing well while you're doing a casual match of League and they're like, oh, you suckers, like, well, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And then they can't say anything because, like, why aren't you in rank? Oh, because your elo is trash because you're trash.
Yeah, yes, you're trash. Yeah,
Dota
exactly.
2, it don't matter. Casual rank, they are on your head. They like, why'd you pick this? You don't know what you're doing. Like, I was like, that's
they get
the real,
mad.
yeah.
They do. They get furious.
I think the second community, I gotta say, is you got to go to a certain side. You got to go to a certain side to see this side of the community. This is a new toxic community, and I'm gonna call y'all out so maybe y'all can be better. The Arc Raiders community. when you get in those, when you kill enough people and you get on a PvP side, actual
Arc Raiders is sick, bro.
Yeah,
Arc Raiders is sick, bro.
And they have sick people in them.
They totally manipulate
demons.
you. Oh my gosh,
people
bro.
who will learn about your kids and family and just get to know you and make plans and exchange numbers and then shoot you in the head right at the end.
Turn on you, bro. For your loot, for a little bit of loot.
Oh my gosh, I was like, I've seen the darkest side of gamers.
Arc Raiders is sick. Arc Raiders is sick.
Oh my gosh,
I like that.
Yeah,
take.
and I think the next one I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna try and switch it up. I'm gonna say the Kingdom Hearts community. Yeah, you seems curious. Go. I want you to try this experiment.
A bunch of Disney kids.
You would think. Go online and just write, the Kingdom Hearts story is hard to follow. You are going to get jumped in your comments in 0.5 seconds. They go, no, it's not hard. No, but y'all, no one says anything about Kojima and his stories are all weird. Y'all always talking about, like, they do not like when you say that the Kingdom Hearts story is hard to follow. They be on my head top.
I can't lie. I do agree with it being hard to follow.
It is.
I don't really get it. I know it's been a very popular game.
Yeah,
but
make sure you clip this because that's going to get the engagement because they're going to be in the comments mad. They're going to be like, what you mean it's hard to follow? It's so easy to follow. Look, there's a Reddit 10-page guide on those and on timelines to follow.
Read this 10-page guide so that you can understand the game.
And it's like, look, y'all, you're right. Kojima also on some two things can be true.
Two things can be true. Two things can be true. 100%. Dude, that's funny. These are all such great takes, bro. I love this. One nerd franchise you join instantly if they offered.
Ooh, this one.
That's a good question.
That's a really good
killing
question.
It with the questions as of late. Okay, Nat, I see you, girl.
I think.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be Mobile Suit Gundam. I love Mobile Suit Gundam. I've been a big Gundam fan. I'm actually going on July 4th on a quick turnaround trip to Japan to see the Unicorn Gundam because they're taking it down. But I saw the big RX-78-2 that was in Yokohama. I went to see it. It was a religious experience.
Best tabletop game ever made.
Critics are going to think I'm going to say D&D, but I want to be different. I want to be different, and I want to say Thunder Road Vendetta, I think, is probably it's a Mad Max style racing game.
Ooh.
And it used to exist and then they re-released it and updated it, and it is just so fun and it feels like a very fun like race that you're a part of. So what I want to do and I want to get all y'all football dudes. I want to have y'all sit down and play some Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
So Blood Bowl is Warhammer Fantasy Universe football, and then like you make like teams, and then you have to make the ball to each end of the end zone, but you can like attack everyone.
I like it. I'm down. Okay, I'm down. We can do that. Count me in.
Say less.
Count me in.
All right.
100% count me in. Okay. Worst tabletop experience you've ever had?
It's not at the table. It's at the setting, and I really want to echo. If you have a game store, hear me out. If someone is new to the game, to a game, and they tell you that, there's two ways to look at this. Me, as just a fan of the hobby, you have the chance to ingratiate them in the game we love and have a new member at your LGS, and you can hold it down and make it a great experience. On a marketing level, you can make a bunch of money because they have to buy so many things.
Yeah.
I was at an LGS, and there was this like sweet young lady, young woman who was like there, and she was like, I'm new to the game, I'm trying to get in. And like, they were just like not hearing her, and so it was like me who was like, okay, what you need, and like I'm doing this, and I'm like telling her about it and all this stuff, and so she's buying stuff, and they're just like checked out. I'm like, you need to be like
just no customer service,
like like hooked her up with like some starter decks. So I'm like, dog, pull out some of these commanders, explain what's going on, hear what she likes,
sell the product, like do your job, like because
I think we're at this point, especially we're in this renaissance for LGSs where the the product sells themselves. People come in, they know what they want.
Yeah.
So you don't
unless
have
you're
to,
a new customer, then you
exactly.
need to, you know.
But because it sells themselves, I think we're losing the recipes. Somebody come in your store,
but it's
chop
always
it up
been
with
like
them.
that, bro.
I mean,
it's always been like
let's
that, bro.
talk
For
about
the
it.
longest
Let's
time,
talk about it.
For the longest time, game stores have been terrible places to walk into, bro.
When I was like 17, 18, I wanted to first get into comics in a big way. I wanted to get a pull list.
Yeah.
And I walk into this comic shop, and I tell the dude, and I'm like, hey man, like I'm really trying to get into comics now. Where should I start? And he's like, I mean, what do you like? And like just already on that stuff.
Like,
and
bro, I don't want to buy from you now.
I'm not trying to
Fuck
give you any money.
Yeah,
exactly. Like somebody is coming into your store being like, hey, I'm trying to give you money.
You want to get into trading cards? Like, well, let me tell you. Like,
and just didn't even tell me. And then like the place that actually, funny enough, flip on that. You remember the place that I said that I was going to regularly as my LGS?
Yes.
It was a comic shop, and I went in there and I was like, yo, I tried again. I was like, yo, I tried before, but I'm trying to get a pull list. And he goes, okay, great. So this crossover event is just ending, so it's actually a good one because you're going to have a whole bunch of number ones. And he explained to me like what crossover events were, why things were starting over, how to get in. And I had a pull list up until I stopped working there when I moved because of that. And I'm there picking up stuff on Wednesdays. I see some Magic cards. I'm like, oh, you did this? It's like, yeah, there's Friday Magic and all this stuff. So they made thousands of dollars from
customer
me
service,
because he put me on and he let me know. And I think like we're losing the recipes because we're like, well, it's going to sell itself. It's like, yeah, but also we are the bastions of the game, and like and maybe you are one of those people who's like we should gatekeep more. It's like we still gonna play. Then the answer is, are you gonna make some money?
Gatekeeping is the stupidest shit.
Oh
ever.
yeah,
but like here's the thing, when you get somebody new into your store and they come in and just have the best experience ever, that person is going to be loyal to you in your store for as long as you exist. As long as they're in trading cards, they will never forget their first time walking into a store and having an experience that was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It never, like first impressions, right?
Yeah.
Why, like, I simply don't understand it. And it's part of the reason why I started Cash Cards, or like had the dream to do it, because my local game store was cool, bro. Like, I love my local game store. Shout outs to those guys. But I can't even lie, bro. Sometimes when you walk in there, it would be like, do you guys want to help? Or do you, we don't recognize you. Like, can I help you? Like, what do you want? The only extra, when their customer service was the best?
What?
The owner had his daughter working in there. But like, she was so sweet and so kind. And like, when people came in, like when moms came in, they'd be like, oh, like, who are you looking for? You looking for Cassius? Oh, he's here in the back. Let me go get him for you. You know what I mean? Then you made the moms want to come in. Yeah. Bro, when she left, I'm telling you, bro. Yeah. I'm telling you, it changed, bro.
It's just like, there's just that like, I say this I'm a fan of a lot of things. I like coffee a lot. Some of these coffee shops, y'all trying to be too aesthetic. We losing the recipes. You the first person somebody see at the beginning of the day. Yeah. Why aren't you being like, hey, what's up? How you doing? If you don't want to do that, cool. Yeah. Just sell beans then. Yeah. Don't sell a cup of coffee. Yeah. Like, that's what we got into it for. Yeah. I don't know. I've just always been someone of service and community, and I'm always just involved. And I think you're right, where it's like we're losing the recipes. Like, we should be making this a place where people come in. Also, you're a business, so like you went out here trying to
that's
make
the part
money.
where I really can't even understand. Like, you're trying to run a business.
Yeah, I could, it's one thing if it was like a clubhouse, then sure, do that however you want. But you're a business, and what's going to help your business is making your place a fun place to go. I remember the names of all the places I went. Gotham Comics, like I said, that was the one in Norwalk. It's just closed now. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Next Gen Games on the west side. That's where I used to play back when I was doing joints back in there. Odyssey Games, that's where I go now, because it was like you just remember, you'll never forget, because you're like, I like my experience at these places. And I think it's like, hey, do you I can't tell you how to run it, but
I
won't
be coming back. I won't be. It's like that. I won't be coming back. It just is what it is. Okay, here's another question for you: hosting a show or playing in a campaign?
Ooh, that's so. See, now you're talking a real hard one.
Yeah, I know for you this is
yeah, because I host some actually, but I've played in Dimension 20. I think I like hosting a show. I like being a host in general. I like hosting parties. I like hosting a commander night at the crib.
Yeah.
So I think I like hosting a show because it allows you to kind of like, you know, showcase your like funny friends and bring them on and like shoot the shit with them.
If your life was a tabletop campaign, what's the title?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Performance and polycules, you know? PMP.
PMP. He really pulled that one out off the top of the dome. That was pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie. Well, brother, that's kind of the end of the podcast, man. That's how we like to end it off. But listen, I could sit here and talk to you all day long, bro.
I'm telling you,
I can't believe we haven't linked up until now, bro. It's like this was meant to be.
This
was meant to be.
And here's the thing. I always say, I feel like whenever I meet someone else who grew up out here, there's like an instant connection because there's just, I feel like Californians, especially people around the LA area, we're the most misunderstood because our biggest representation of us are usually transplants who are acting how they think.
Not here.
People
They're not from
so
here.
Like, but it's like, no, like everyone's low key just like a diet surfer. like
for real,
every person who grew up out here is just a diet surfer in some way and has that chilled, laid back vibe.
Yeah, bro. You know, when people are like, I don't like LA, I'm like, where did you go?
Yep. Oh,
Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Venice, West Hollywood, Beverly Hills. I'm like, no wonder you don't like it.
That used to be on, back when we were on Facebook, that used to be on my banner, the tweet that was like I hate when people say I hate LA and ain't been south of the 5. It's like, if you ain't been south of the 5.
Have you been over here to the Valley?
Yeah, not at all.
The Valley
They haven't even touched that.
Have you seen, like, you know what I mean, on the way to Orange County and stuff? Have you seen Burbank?
You ain't seen none of that.
You know?
You ain't seen that. You ain't been
Pasadena, Arcadia. The food in Arcadia?
Oh my God!
Bro, stop!
Look, I could take you on a tour.
Come on, bro. There's way too many places, but like, I get it. Like, if all I saw when I came to LA was West Hollywood,
I know.
And there's some great parts of West Hollywood too. You know, I've got an appreciation for every part of.
But they go on
LA.
deep. They trying to see the Beverly Hills sign. Look, bro. Look, I say this every time. I have to say it. You know, hate Beverly Hills. Fuck Beverly Hills. If you didn't know, you have to grow out here to know. Beverly Hills has stopped that extension of the Purple Line for as long as I've been a kid because they didn't want us out there. They didn't want the pores. They wanted to keep. They only wanted Weezer out there. They didn't want us out there. They said, nah, Cash, Ify, nah. Unless you can whip it out here in your car, you not coming here.
I know.
But look,
this is spam. I mean, Beverly Hills is no joke, man.
Yeah, they
just being
play.
There is expensive. Just so you step on
parking. The price of the parking
I was
literally
like, existing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it was.
Crazy.
I had to go out there for. There's this restaurant in Chicago called Alinea. There's like fine dining.
And they did a pop up over there. Yeah.
And that's the only. I was like, this is the only thing.
The food in Beverly Hills is busting.
Oh yeah, because
sometimes you gotta pop in.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta pop in, but pop right back out.
Yeah, right back out. That's so funny, man. Brother, it's such a pleasure talking to you, man. I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. It was a treat.
Tell the people where they can follow you and support you and show love.
Yeah, Ify Nwadiwe on on Instagram, ifycomedy.com, on Blue Sky, ifycomedy.com if you want to see where my shows are at. I'm touring all summer, so I'm going to be doing comedy in your city. I'm going to be doing some weird stuff at Gen Con. I'm going to be facing down some wrestlers. They've been talking some smack, so I'm going to have to pull up on them and show them what's up.